we're going to be changing my ostomy bag together. For the people that are coming in, I have inflammatory bowel disease. It's an autoimmune disease, and that's why I have a permanent ostomy. I will poo out of this for the rest of my life. While everybody is trickling in, we are going to get ready. First thing I always do every night is tie my hair back, because as it gets longer, it just gets in the way sometimes. So it's a lot easier just to tie it up. Tie it back like this. A little hack, if you're like I always double shirt it usually in the winter. If you don't want to tie your shirt up, you can always just tuck it under a tighter shirt, or if you're wearing a bra, you can tuck your shirt up into your bra. For this live stream, you guys should be able to see a Q&A on your side. Hopefully you can. Yeah, hopefully you guys can. It'll be in the chat. I also created a little super chat goal. So if you guys hit that super chat goal tonight, I'll pick a specific question, maybe one of my favorite questions of the night. And we will do another live stream that's basically specific to that question. So I thought that would be pretty cool. I always tuck this. Well, let's get everything out first, and I'll just explain everything I'm using kind of while I'm doing that. So I already have my ostomy bag out. This is one of the newer updated ones. They changed this little click piece on them, and it just works a little bit better. A little ring. We have my skin cleanser. We have my lubricating deodorant. My adhesive remover wipe. I need a flame for my skin, and then we're gonna get a trash bag and we'll be all done. So, open this. And I'm not really gonna tape this back because there's only one left, so we'll just put that back in the bag. I like to open these and keep them in my sink. Thank you guys for coming in. If you're just now coming in, my name is Kaylaa. Every week I go live and I change my ostomy bag. I have inflammatory bowel disease, and that has left me with a permanent ostomy for the rest of my life. And I like to get on here and do a little bit of ostomy education, awareness, because unfortunately a lot of people live their lives with ostomies in silence, or it takes them a long time to come to terms with telling people that are very, very close to them that they have an ostomy. So we're trying to break a little bit of that stigma, because I didn't do anything to cause my disease or cause my need for an ostomy. And even then, no one deserves to be ashamed of the way they go to the bathroom. That's a basic biologic thing that everybody needs to do. So that's what we're doing tonight. We're prepping this bag because I have this bag on right now. We're going to prep the new bag before I take the old bag off. That's just the way I work. I think it's a smooth transition that way. And therefore, if we have a day where my stoma, which you guys will see, my stoma is under here. It's a little piece of my small intestine. If it's being active, which means if I'm pooping, then it's easier to have your fresh bag already prepped, and you can just switch it out really quickly. So that's why I like to prep my new bag before taking off the old one. You guys let me know if you're watching. Can you see the Q&A on y'all's end? There should be like a box somewhere. And the Q&A should be up. Hi. That one is on. Oh, and I didn't get my wipes, so let's get those out. Boom. Hi, if you guys are watching, be sure to like the live. Like the live if you've already done that. Share, subscribe, because I go live every single week. Thank you so much. So mine isn't reversible. There are some people that do have reversible ostomies. Mine isn't. Um, Let me know again if you guys can see the Q&A feature on your screen on y'all's end, because I enabled it for this live, and I think it'll be a lot easier to just follow questions if they're being submitted there versus me trying to always catch the chat. I'm gonna give it a couple minutes. I think my mod is joining tonight, so when they come in, we should be able to get everything started. If you're watching, be sure to like, because generally I do like a mutual, I don't really know I need to come up with a word for it, but like a mutual live. The more I see you engaging, that means sharing the live, subscribing to my channel, liking the live. It's the more energy and the more questions I ask, and just the more excitement I have, because who wants to be up talking for an hour? It doesn't look like anybody's listening to them. Maybe a college professor, but I'm not a college professor. Therefore, let's keep things exciting. If I end up not liking my ratio, which means I have more people watching me than I have likes, and it's just, I don't see the engagement, I do go into super chat only mode. What that means is that you guys can still kiki haha in the chat, but I'll only answer questions that are super chatted to me, because that means those people are really listening and they care for what I'm talking about. But I don't want to do that to y'all tonight. So be sure to like, be sure to share the live, and we'll have fun tonight. It's an ostomy bag. It seems like I have a new people in here. So my name is Kay. I go live every week changing my ostomy bag. I have inflammatory bowel disease, and that's left me with a permanent ostomy bag for the rest of my life. Thank you so much. What is it? Girl Dad Cooking. Let me see something, y'all. That's so weird. Every time I try, whoever, I think somebody just sent a GIF. If you sent a GIF, thank you so much. It doesn't really show me on my screen when it happens, which is annoying. But if you sent that, thank you so much. Let me see. Okay. Hi. Oh, thank you. One of my friends made this. It's one of their shops on Etsy. And so she sent me a bunch of tops, maybe like a week ago. No, not a week ago. I meant a year ago. Oh my goodness. Like a year ago. And it was a bunch of them, and they're really, really cute. And they're really comfortable. Okay. Let me see. What do I want to do next? Do I want to get into the bag change? Do I want to answer a couple of questions? I have inflammatory bowel disease. That's what caused me to have my ostomy bag. So inflammatory bowel disease is an autoimmune disease. Typically, the major categories are Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis. At the time when I was diagnosed, I tried a lot of different medications. The medication class is called biologics. None of them worked for me. So in 2022, I had to start getting surgeries. And my last surgery was in 2024, where I got a permanent ostomy placed. I've had six surgeries. I'm doing well. I'm a little tired because this is a lot later than when I usually go live. But I've had a busy week, and I told myself that even if I had to change the dates around, change the times around, I would still try to be true to my promise and be true to myself and go to not go to something. See, I told you I was tired. And go live every week, because I just want to see if I can do it for a consistent amount of time. Let's continue prepping this bag. It's connected to my small intestine. So I got my large intestine removed and I got my rectum removed and my bottom hole is sewn up. Thank you, I appreciate it. Basically, this little ring right here works like the little putty on a pipe for plumbing. If you have a leak, sometimes you'll put that putty around it to kind of like stuff the hole around it where the leak is. And this does the same thing for an ostomy system. Nope. So I digest foods like everybody else digests food. So I eat it, it goes down my esophagus, it goes into my stomach. Your stomach enzymes break that up and sends it to the direct channels. For me, it just goes from my stomach through my small intestine, and then goes into the bag since I no longer have a large intestine. Your large intestine and your colon are the same thing. So usually by the time I eat, the food is in me from anywhere between 2 to 6 hours. It depends on what you eat. Is it your first meal of the day? Is it fibrous? More carby? Just depends on a lot of different factors. Guys, be sure to like the live. My ratio is good right now. 12 to 6 is not bad. But I hope your sister is doing well. She has an ostomy. This is a lubricating deodorant. It's just gonna help keep the bag fresh when I dump it. And typically this lasts about 48 hours. If I want it to last longer, I just put more in it as I dump the bag. And just mush that around inside of there. And the bag is prepped. Thank you so much for subscribing, BCU582. I really appreciate it. I like to keep my trash bag in the sink because it just helps to throw all the stuff in the trash as you're going. This is an adhesive remover spray. This is just going to help remove the bag without pulling my skin unnecessarily. And then I have adhesive remover wipes, which is basically this one in a wipe format. Basically the same thing. And this is a skin barrier wipe, which is a prep before putting on the new bag. This is the time where I will give you guys the trigger warning if you guys don't want to see. One second, I'll tell you this after. If you guys don't want to see intestines, any kind of insides on the outside, that's basically what a stoma is. There could be red bodily fluid. I don't really say that word in the internet space. I am not in any pain. I am not hurting myself. This is a medically educational live. I think that's everything that's in my trigger warning. Usually my mod drops it, but I think that's like the gist of it. If you're uncomfortable, you don't have to stick around. But if you heard me, double tap the screen so I know that you're registering what I'm saying and share the live. And if you've already done all those things, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And that's how I know you really, really heard me. So I'll give you guys a couple minutes to like the screen. Oh my goodness, something just dropped. And I need to get it before it sells out. The BTS light stick just dropped. All right, y'all. We're going to keep this very brief tonight because I can't miss this. All right, so, yeah, oh, thank you. I appreciate it. This is the adhesive remover spray. Sorry, that just like got my adrenaline up really, really high and like completely distracted me. We're going to take off this bag. Usually a couple drops of this works. It just depends on how old the bag is and how much hair I have on my stomach. This is not hair. This is a surgery scar. Boom. I think I made poo tonight, so we're gonna, because I can hear my intestines moving. So we're just gonna make sure this is folded up to catch anything. They should be on the BTS website, like their official site. Oh wow. Thank you so much. I hope your Crohn's is doing well. My stoma is kind of elongated tonight. Nope, it has no nerve ending, so I don't feel anything. Also, Ma, do you see the Q&A from your side? I don't know if you're on a phone or a laptop, but on my end, I don't see anything. Oh, my sister's in today. This is a stoma. Thank you, I appreciate it. This is one of my favorite shades of purple too. I should have tied my hair back from the bottom. Okay, I need to clean this, so I think I'm gonna use this because I didn't bring all of my hardware with me today. I always end up forgetting one thing. I don't really, they should be on the site. I literally, because what's today? What's today's date, actually? Maybe it's not. Maybe that was just like a clickbaity headline. So just ignore me. I have Crohn's disease. That's why I have a stoma. So for the new people that are coming in, hi, welcome. My name is Kay. I have a stoma or an ostomy, which is what the whole thing is called when I have a bag on it, because I have inflammatory bowel disease. It's an autoimmune disease that impacts your GI tract. At the time of my diagnosis, no medications worked for me, so I started getting surgeries in 2022. I've had around 6 surgeries, and I had my last surgery in 2024. Yeah, 2024. Okay, I feel like that's mostly clean. Okay, so then maybe it didn't come out today. Thank you guys so much. Again, I can't see who drops anything, so I got my first stoma in 2022. I just want to clean it really well around it because I did have some skin itching. I don't really see anything on the camera, but I mean, not on the camera, in person. After I've taken off the bag, but just in case. I probably missed some of y'all's questions. Yep, I've had bag leaks in bed. Just letting the skin air out a little bit. I don't do bagless showers, so when I change my bag, the only time the skin around it really gets to interact with normal air is when I change my bags. If you guys are watching, be sure to like the live. Like I was telling, I don't know if it's the same wave of people or we have some new people, but if I don't like my ratio, which means I have way too many viewers, not enough likes, we do go into super chat only mode. What that means is that I only answer questions that are super chatted to me. Thank you guys that are sending more jewels. I really appreciate that. They don't have any, they don't know the cause of inflammatory bowel disease right now. It's actively being researched right now. We've identified, I say we, like I'm a scientist. We've identified biomarkers. We know those biomarkers are connected to IBD, but we still don't have causation. So money needs to continue to be put into medical research. And a lot of that is, well, those budgets are allocated by Congress. Thank you, I appreciate that. That happens, you drop weight fairly quickly. Right now, I'm the biggest I've ever been in my entire life, really, consistently. Maybe like 5 pounds bigger, a little bit bigger, but relatively the biggest I've ever been. You lose weight really quickly with Crohn's because of malabsorption, malnutrition, pain when you eat, mainly pain when you start to digest. So yeah, this is a stoma. It's a little piece of my small intestine pulled on the outside of my body. And kind of folded over itself and like sutured around it. It's about 1 inch. I don't know if it looks like that on camera, but it's about 1 inch of my small intestine. But I do hope your cousin is doing well. I hope she's able to get some relief soon. Top back on this. Yeah. A lot of things when you have Crohn's, when they want you to actually digest and process things, when you're in the middle of a flare, they give it to you via IV because your GI system is just wrecked. Thank you. My mom just dropped my bio again. And everything that is going on. Again, I go live every week. Sometimes, usually it's a little bit earlier. It's between 5 and 6, but I had a busy week, so I had to push my live stream back and the times around a little bit. But I'm super excited to be here with you guys tonight. My name is Kay. I have inflammatory bowel disease, and what you guys are watching is a bag change, an ostomy bag change. So I have to change my ostomy bag. The day, it depends on what I'm doing. Average is every 3 to 4-ish days. See, I told you guys I felt like I was gonna have an active night. It's every 3 to 4 days, but sometimes I can change it more than that, less than that. It just depends on what's going on, what I'm doing. Did I have a bag leak? Is it hot outside? Things like that. Things like that. Yes, be sure to keep hitting the like because I don't want to put y'all in super chat only mode. Right now I have about 34 people watching and I only have 14 likes. And that's not even half. So we need to get this up. And also I set a super chat goal for tonight If you guys hit that goal, then I'll pick a question, or maybe I'll put it in my community and let you guys poll it. But we'll do a live specific stream where I go into depth in one of, or maybe a few of the specific questions that you guys ask. No, it doesn't hurt. So the surgeries hurt, obviously, to get it placed. But the actual stoma has no nerve endings, so you actually don't feel anything. But if you want to know what it feels like the inside of your cheek. It's basically that same kind of thing. I think we got one more, Jules, since I last saw that. Thank you so much. I think she's done for the night. I didn't really go crazy on food today, so there shouldn't be much of anything going on. I know I get this question a lot too. No, I cannot control when I go to the bathroom. It's just the natural progression. No one has control over the movement of food through their small intestine. It just naturally happens. So I have inflammatory bowel disease, and at the time of my diagnosis, I had tried a lot of different medications. For about 2 years, I tried a lot of different medications, was sick a lot, and so I decided to start getting surgeries in 2022. Went through a lot of different surgeries, a lot of them. The videos are up on my page if you guys want to take a dive into that after the stream is over. But I've had 6 different surgeries, which led to my last surgery in 2024, where I got my ostomy permanently placed, and that's a little piece of my small intestine pulled through my abdominal wall. And I no longer have my colon or my rectum because they were inflamed. Yep, it makes gas. Sometimes you can hear it. I'm not passing gas tonight, so you guys won't hear that. But it passes gas and poops. That's all it does. It passes gas and poops. Yep, I have my large intestine removed. My large intestine was removed in 2022. And also my rectum was removed in 2022. Okay, I think I'm going to put my new bag on now, and then I'll keep answering questions after that. So be sure to think about your questions or resend them if I missed it. And we'll keep answering questions after I put this on, because I don't want this to get too active to the point where it like dirties up my skin again after I've already cleaned it. So you literally just put it in this little hole and just put it right in. And you press. Yeah, this is my last year in 2025 was my first full year hospital free. So that's pretty cool. For the most part, I'm doing well. Press that down for a second. Having a dryer speeds up this process, but pressing it down or tucking the bag into your pants, or I like getting in the shower, especially if the bag is already stuck and I was wanting to be a little bit firmer in like the adhesive. I just get in the shower with hot water. I use Edge Park. Or who's this? Or are you asking what's the brand of this ostomy bag? What's your specific question? Yep, I can run a treadmill. I can lift weights. You can do anything with an ostomy bag. especially if you don't have hernias. I don't have a hernia. Making sure that it's down there, and boom, shoes on. As you can see, you can pull it, nothing happens. Yeah, I took a lot of medications to try to not get my large intestine and everything removed well, that's just the first progression of things. Typically, upon diagnosis, you start a biologic, unless something has happened with your diagnosis and you end up needing a surgical intervention. But I tried a lot of different medications. I think I've tried, I don't know, I think it's upper numbers. I don't think it's quite 10, but it's not far from 10. Last time I sat and like tallied them all off. Right now I'm on Rinvoq and methotrexate. Yep, that's the ostomy bag information, supplier stuff, y'all. For those that was wondering. This is the Coloplast bag. It's their 2-piece click bag because I like being able to burp the ostomy since I'm relatively gassy. Having the 2-piece just allows me to unclick it and like burp it from the top without having to go and dump the bag if I don't need to. You guys have any other questions tonight? Short or live? It is pretty late. Typically I go live around, like I said, it's around 5, 6 Eastern time. So, yeah. So sometimes it's, what was I about? I lost my train of thought. That's the only thing about going live. I swear you could have like a thought on your mind and like something you're about to say that you could see a question and it starts a whole nother thought, so you've lost the thought that you were responding to. So, oh, I was saying I go live generally between 5 and 6 p.m. standard time on Wednesdays. So if you guys want to tune in those days, be sure you are subscribed to my YouTube and you have notification bell turned on, because then you'll know if the times happen to change up, or say if I go live on a Thursday or Friday instead of Wednesday, you'll know. The notification will come straight to your phone, basically. Because I do know I do a lot of different like advocacy work for people with inflammatory bowel disease. And when like things open up legislatively, is that the word I'm looking for? When things are just open in DC is what I'm trying to say. A lot of times I am traveling and doing different advocate things. So there's a lot of support groups. I have some of them linked in the description of this video. If you check any of my recent videos, you'll see links to support groups. I don't have one specifically for myself. I used to co-facilitate one for teens with IBD, but I'm in school, but I'm not in school for anything involving mental health or anything now, but it's very mentally draining to be the leader of a support group, and doing that every single month, being in a leadership. It's a difference between showing up and being like a participant in one, but being a leader can be very, very emotionally draining, especially if it's not something that you have a career passion for. Like if I was working in pediatrics or in mental health. So I did take a step back from that role, but that was for kids anyways. There's a support group that I know off the top of my head that is specifically for patients of color with ostomies. That's called Beyond the Bag. And I think I have that linked. If I don't have that link, if somebody is looking for that, comment it under my video that you're looking for that, and I can respond back to your comment with the link for that. And then I'm pretty sure the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has a support group for people with ostomies. And some of those could be local, but I don't attend any support groups. Mainly because I know people in real life with ostomies and inflammatory bowel disease. So if I have issues, typically I'm phoning a friend before tapping into a support group. And if it's an issue that I can't get solved there, I probably need to go to the doctor. But at the beginning, I did a lot of like, I wouldn't even call it like support groups. I would just join a lot just to be in community with people with inflammatory bowel disease. I don't know the exact number, like what's like the statistic on people with ostomies. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever known that. I knew the statistic for how many people had IBD in my state, but I didn't know. I don't know if I ever knew the ostomy number. I probably should know that. I should probably look it up. Clean up this stuff while I'm talking to y'all. I keep saying that, but I really need to organize that. A part of me, I want to get a new bag because this one's just droopy and I want one with more structure. Do y'all have any more questions before I roll out? Nope. What's my diet like? So mainly I can eat whatever I want with like asterisks over it. It just depends on the day. Some days are different. Some days I know I need to take it easy with fiber. Some days I know that stuff that's like sugary is going to upset my stomach. Generally, if I'm away from home, I'm not eating things that are super fibrous because that can lead to blockages and just cramping. And who wants to be uncomfortable if you're not at home? Also, things that are like super artificial, like Twizzlers, they don't digest. They literally come out the way that you consume them. So that being like, it can get stuck. Basically, you can have like a wad of Twizzlers in your ostomy. Thankfully, I've never really had a blockage, so I don't really know what that ordeal is like, but those are typically the things you're warned about in the ostomy world. Thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah, generally I have a lot less restrictions with my ostomy than I had when I still had my large intestine and before. Oh yeah, and like it's a very small amount of popcorn I can eat. Like when I go to the movie theater, I get the kids box, and even then I don't finish the popcorn in the kids box. And like the kid platter where they give you like the drink, the popcorn. Yeah, marshmallows too. Marshmallows and like gummies and things like that. That'll slow you down. You'll slow down, and it can just be really uncomfortable. So there's like small things that kind of, but who is like, well, maybe there is somebody, but who is eating marshmallows and popcorn like every day? Major things, I have a lot more freedom with my food and things like that with my ostomy, again, than what I had before I got surgeries. I was eating like plain rice, a plain chicken breast sometimes. Sometimes the chicken breast could be too much. Or, excuse me, sorry, I wasn't able to eat at all and I had a PICC line in TPM. I've been on complete bowel rest before. I've been on insurers where you only can drink insurers, but only insure clears because I couldn't do the dairy and the regular ones. So a lot more freedom with foods. Now you guys don't have to say sorry. I'm just saying. I try to like stress because I think a lot of people when they encounter people with ostomies, they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry for you. You must be living like a terribly, terribly hard life." And it was like, I was probably living a worse life when you probably thought I was okay, or before I had the ostomy. Like that life pre-ostomy was 100% more painful than life with my ostomy. My energy is not really tethered to my ostomy. It's more tethered to my Crohn's in general. Like Crohn's is an autoimmune disease. It impacts your immune system. It creates, well, inflammation is primarily in your GI tract, but then you have extra intestinal manifestations, and those can attack anywhere, basically on your body, your joints, your eyes, inside of your mouth, either their kidneys or your liver. I forget which one, maybe both. So it can basically have like a whole body impact. So with all of that stuff going on, you can have heightened times of like fatigue and things. Yep, your ostomy does not impact your what do you call it? Life expectancy. Nope. They don't know what causes IBD. I said it before, and maybe this will be like the last thing we close out on. Scientists and patients, because patients are the ones that are donating our bodies and time and things to all these different studies. Scientists have identified biomarkers for inflammatory bowel disease, which is what I have, but they still don't know causation. So it's through supporting legislation that supports research funding in like health spaces. That's usually allocated by Congress. That's how we continue to advance the studies, we advance the research, and we eventually get to a life that is free from IBD. IBD prevention is something that a lot of different advocacy groups are putting money behind now. No, the diet stuff works, I'll say, in different scenarios. It works when you have time on your hand. I had severe inflammatory bowel disease. When I was approached with surgery, it was like surgery or you will probably be on TPN for a very, very long time. TPN is when you're getting your nutrition through a PICC line that's like connected to like a main artery. I think, and the artery also passes through your heart. I think that's the way it works. That was basically, I was like losing weight, and I was on a rescue medication that they used for chemotherapy. Like there was a lot of different extremes there. So that works. And then you have people that are like, they're in the minority. There's more patients that have gotten better using Western medication than have had time to experiment with different diets. And I think diet is important. Definitely making sure that you're getting what you need and you're not putting your body through even more pain, because you could be eating food that's more roughage and things like that. So diet does matter, but I'm not one of those folks that it really just depends. There are some people that get ostomies and are able to completely stop taking medication because taking out the inflammation has not reset their immune system, but their immune system isn't in overdrive as much anymore, and so they have a decrease in symptoms. For me, I still have joint symptoms even though they can't find any active inflammation no more in my intestines. So I don't know how long I'll be on medication. But yeah, I think that is all for tonight. If you guys end up having any other questions, feel free to leave them under my videos. I go back and I respond to those. I like getting notifications from you guys, so I typically respond pretty fast. I am going to eat dinner and get some rest. I don't smoke or drink, so I wouldn't know. Drinking will definitely affect your output and how it looks, but I don't smoke, I don't drink, never have, don't plan on doing it. So I couldn't tell you anything from experience there. But yeah, I go live every Wednesday. Again, guys, if you enjoyed this live, please subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you know when I go live or when I post videos and do certain things, because when I have things that kind of pick up, I plan on taking you guys with me more to do things this year, so hopefully that pans out. Make sure you're being kind to yourself, listening to your body, drinking water. You're doing the best you can, and you're gonna keep going. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.